Hi everyone, my name is Jenny Woolsey and this is Craniofacial Acceptance Month. In the last few videos I was talking about school tips for beginning school, the junior years, elementary or primary school in many countries. Now I want to move on to high school, so 12 to 17, 18 approximately. All right, these are the years that often teenagers experience difficulties. They're trying to find their self-identity, their self-worth, their self-esteem. They're trying to fit in. You know, there's the pressures of academic work, pressures of trying to, fit in, and social media and everything else that goes on in a teenager's world. Well, when you have a facial difference, I think you've got another layer on top of what is already can be a turbulent but also a great time. And I think as carers or parents, we need to keep that in mind. Do you remember your first day of high school? Do you remember how you felt? Anything that happened that day? Were you excited? Were you scared? Did you know anyone? I think you probably can remember. I sure do. My first year of high school was back in 1980, but I still remember it almost like it was yesterday. And why do I remember it? Because I had a very unpleasant experience. Like most children, I was excited, I was scared all rolled up into one. You know, you go from the top of the school to the bottom of the school, you hear all these stories of all the things the big kids are going to do to you, which most of them were lies. Well, I remember we had to go into the school hall. We all sat down. I was sitting with my friends from primary school, and our names were called out and they were in alphabetical order, and we had to go outside the hall to line up to make our form class. I was C, my maiden name is Collins, and I was lucky enough to be with my best friend because her last name was Cole, so we were actually in the same class, thank goodness. Walked outside to line up, and as soon as we lined up, two of the boys who I didn't know had come from another town, pointed at my face and made fun of my eyes. That was my introduction to high school. And I remember the trauma it caused. Obviously, I put on a brave face. I tried to ignore them. But to this day, I still remember the feeling I got at that moment. Now, I have two children, as you know, with Crouzon syndrome. They were both able to be in classes with other children, with one friend at least, which helped them. They came to the new school with a lot of children from their primary school, as I did, but they were also thrown into a school that was 3 times the size of their primary school, and the kids came from all over, just like what happened in my primary school time. And I know they experienced many of the same issues that I experienced in my youth. It's the kids that don't know you, and it was the kids that didn't know my children that gave them a hard time, that called them names, that stared at them. So the first year of high school can be difficult, but hopefully your child is going to a school where there are some children who know them. And hopefully children who know them and like them will also be in their class. And I suggest going up to the school beforehand, just like I said in my lower school videos, go and talk to the principal, explain the facial syndrome, take your child with you so that everyone is in agreement. Also, let your child have a voice. Don't be the voice for your child. Your child knows what they want, what their fears are, what their hopes are, what their dreams are, what they, may possibly want to do in high school. Listen to them, and if you can, help them to achieve whatever dreams or goals they are. It's important that the child knows they have a role in the school of some sort, that they are valued by a variety of people in the school, that teachers like them and will protect them, look out for them, that there are other children that will look out for them, that like them, will support them. It makes it really hard when you've already got layers of trauma or bullying or, all the medical stuff that our children have to deal with. It becomes even more difficult to cope with high school if you feel rejected or isolated, misunderstood. So I'm going to leave this first video there. So my tip is talk to your child about going to high school, their fears, what they're excited about. Ensure that they are not going to a high school on their own. I guess if you are moving, then that might be a bit more difficult, but hopefully their siblings, someone who knows them, will be going as well. You want them in the mainstream. You want them as much as possible with all the other children. You don't want them segregated away, because the more exposure the other children have to your child, the more they will see them. And over time, they will often see past the face and they will see the person, the whole person. Well, my name is Jenny Woolsey. I'm an author, a speaker, a teacher, and an artist. And I have the motto, be weirdly wonderful, embrace your disability and differences. Please like, comment, and share with these videos. I would really love lots of people to watch them, and hopefully they are helping you. Well, I will see you tomorrow with another tip about high school.